Yes, sir.
Okay, no issue.
Sir, you muted.
Okay, no issue. Uh, yep. As far as you understand that the topic, which is called as India after independence, right? So after so many years of struggle and difficulties, India finally attained from the British Raj on 15th of August 1947. And that's what is called as independence. Now, what happened after this independence? That's a that's the story, right? Like if you talk about India, a new and divided nation, isn't it? A new and divided nation. So, like after independence, India faced a series of enormous or huge challenges, right? So, if you talk about that one after another, you will find out the problems of refugees and of princely states, right? That had to be addressed immediately. So, two of the things. One is called as a refugees, and another one is called as a princely states. Right? Yeah. Do you know that princely states or not?
So, what the princely states means?
So,
Sir, the states which are ruled by Maharajas or Nawabs. Yeah.
yeah, a princely state was
Sir, like me.
yes, a princely state was the meaning of a princely state was nominally sovereign entity of the British Indian Empire that was not directly governed by the Britishers, but rather by an Indian rulers under a form of indirect rule, right? So that is what is known as a what you call princely states, right? So these are the two problems that India faced. One is called as a refugees, and the other one is called as a princely state. Second one is called as a the new nation. The new nation had to adopt a political system, right? So that would best serve the hopes and expectation of its population. So obviously people have a lot of hope and lot of expectations after independence India, right? So and that's what the nation had to adopt with the form of political system. Then the third one is known as India's population. If you talk about the India's population, so can anyone tell me that what is the India's population during the time of independence?
No, that I don't know.
Yeah, so what is his name?
Can you repeat?
What is the India's population during independence?
So it was 345 million people.
Wow. How do you know that?
Sir, because I was reading. No, I was reading. Why? Sir, now it is because we have a test tomorrow. Sir,
Yes.
sir, but now it is 1.41 billion.
Was the question asked you for the what is the current population?
No, sir. Sir, at that time million, now billion.
Yeah. So billion. Yes. So India's population in 1947 was large and uh, you could say that was divided also. Division between different caste like high castes and low caste, between majority Hindu community and Indians who practiced other faiths could be seen, right? So in that case, you find out these are the three, that the first one is called as a refugees and princely state problems. Second one is called as a new nation. So people have a lots of hope and expectation. Third one is called as India's population, which was large and divided, and the kind of a division held between high and low caste, and also you can talk about majority high community and Indians who Yeah, where I was just talking about these are the three things which have been pointed. One is princely state, where the kings are ruled, and the second one is called as a refugee problem. Then the second one is known as a okay. Now he joined. Second one is known as a new nation that had to adopt a political system on which means people have a lot of hopes and expectations. Then the third one is called as a 1947 was nothing but uh, a kind of a year when the India got its freedom. So at that time, India's population was large and huge, and it was divided. The division held between high caste and low caste, and between majority Hindu community and Indians who practiced other faiths that have been possibly found, right? The fourth one is known as a farmers and peasants. So peasants or farmers means obviously indicating that the um, lower class people, but at the same time, these farmers and peasants were dependent on wood or on what? The monsoon for their survival. So that is something called as a one of the big issue. Then the fifth one is called as the new nation had to lift, right, or called as a jump its masses out of poverty, right? You're talking about the nation got its freedom, but if the people live in the poverty or called as a poorness, by increasing the productivity of agriculture and by promoting new job creating industries. So you will find out means what the poverty was one of the major problem in India, and that had to lift by increasing the productivity of agriculture. So different kind of a cultivation, and also um, giving the opportunity for new job creating industries, right? So that is also indicating as a fifth one. If you talk about the sixth one is indicating as a unity and development, right? Unity means togetherness, and the development of each and every individual goes hand in hand, right? So if the division between sections of India, if the division or separation between, you will find out sections of India, particular you can say that community or group with the other group of India, so that were not held, they could result in violent conflicts, right? So you would find out Hindu versus Muslim still now going on, high caste fighting with the low caste. So that's a kind of a problem you would find out after independence, right? So that were not even resolved or solved the matter. So they could result in a means violent conflicts. So these are certain, you can say that possible regions or possible challenges that new and independent India got, right? The first one, refugees and princely state, addressed immediately problems. Second is called as a nation had to adopt a political system for to fulfill the hopes and expectation of the people. Third is called as a means division, and also as the country was large, so that's why the division held between high caste and low caste, Hindu community and in high caste and low caste, and majority of means a Hindu community. And you also find out other religious people. Then people who are farmers and peasants, so they were also dependent upon the monsoon for their survival, as they were belonging to the poverty, so or poorness. Then the fifth one we talk about that called as a means poverty, productivity of agriculture, and also promoting new job creating industries that try to lift out the poverty from the new nation, right? And the last one is called as unity and development, right? That goes hand in hand. But at the same time, if you find out that the divisions between sections of India, that's something called as a Hindu community versus Muslim community, and high caste versus low caste. So the matter was not healed or solved, right? The violent conflicts between between this community, right? Now, beside these six challenges, right, there are other challenges which have not been considered as the major. Now, what happened? These are the things you find out happened after independence India, right? Then the next idea is called as a constitution is written. We all know that means the Constitution of India is a document, right, that establishes the political values, right? So it is a document give the political values, the powers of government, and the rights of the citizen of the country, right? So what is the job of the Constitution of India? Now, giving political values, giving the powers of government. Then the third one is called as telling the rights of the citizen of the country. Three of the thing. And Constitution of India is considered as the main apex body of India, right? So, or called as a supreme law of India. That is what means a Constitution of India presents. Next is called as, if you talk about the Constitution of India, you will find out certain points which have been found here. One, that's called as the meetings, right? The meetings of Constituent Assembly, right, which were held in New Delhi, and representatives from all parts of India attended the meeting. And these discussions resulted in the framing of the Indian Constitution. So the discussions that held in the framing of the Indian Constitution means to decorate or to means a form, right, the Indian Constitution, and that came into effect. When did it get into effect? Anyone can say?
Sir, can you repeat? January 26th. 26th January. Sir, can you repeat?
Yeah,
1950.
so my question was, can you tell me the Indian Constitution came into effect in which year?
January 1950. January 26, 1950.
Yes. So we can find out that on 26th of January 1950, right? So we draw the idea here means when we are talking about a constitution written, right? So to point out the political values, powers of government, and the rights of the citizen of the country, because constitution is considered as the supreme law of India, right? So, and it is a document to be written, right? So for which the meetings of Constituent Assembly, right? So forming an assembly where many of the people came to New Delhi, or the meeting held in New Delhi, and representatives means from all parts of India came to that place, and that meeting actually resulted in the framing of the Indian Constitution, which came into effect on 26th of January 1950. The second one is called as a one feature of the Constitution. What is the one feature of the Constitution? Was its adoption, right? Now that is called as a
Adaptation.
adoption.
Adaptation.
Adoption means
Acha.
go right?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Yeah, there.
So one feature of the Constitution. So one of the quality that you find out of this Constitution was its adoption, or its acquiring. Acquiring what? The universal adult franchise. Right. Now, what is that universal adult franchise? Yes, Bidesh, can you tell me what is universal adult franchise? Yeah. Hello. Bidesh, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Bidesh.
Videsh. Yes, sir. I couldn't speak to my mom.
Okay. What is universal? What is universal adult franchise?
The Universal Adult Franchise is an organization, sir, or it is a rule or a fundamental right which provides the right for the people above the age of 18 to vote and means cast their own vote as per to their own wish in the elections.
Okay. So we can say that what is that article? Can Asutosh, can you tell me that what is that article defines a universal adult franchisee?
Sir?
What is that article number that defines a universal adult franchisee as the basis for elections to all levels of the elected government?
Sorry, sir, I don't know this one because it's not given in the book.
Yeah, it's called as a 326. So Article 326 defines that a universal adult franchisee, it is the region for which elections to all levels, right? Whether you are talking about MLA, MP, or called as a governor, or you talk about president or a chief minister or prime minister. So the government is formed on the basis of the elections, right? So UAF refers that all citizens who are 18 years, like Bidesh said, and above, irrespective of their caste or education, religion, color, race, and economic condition, they are free to vote. Right. So another thing is called as in a democracy, a universal adult franchisee is important. Right. Why? Now, because means it is based on the idea of equality, parallelism. It states that it gives us the idea that every adult in a country, irrespective of money, wealth, and the community he belongs to, has adopted a UAF as a region, right? Another or he belongs to means has one vote. Then the next one is called as the Indian Constitution has adopted UAF as a basis for elections to the Lok Sabha and the uh, SLA, State Legislative Assemblies, right? Third is called as a representation of states, right? So anyone who is representing states in Lok Sabha, members are directly elected by the people from the same territorial constituencies in the states. Like elected principal use universal adult franchisee, eligible to vote any citizen whose age is beyond 18 years or above 18 years of age. That's what. Now, that is what called as a universal adult franchisee that gives the opportunity to an individual or to the citizen of that country or states to go for the vote. All Indians above the age of 18 years or at the age of 21 would be allowed to vote in the state and national elections. And this was the revolutionary step, as Indians never had been allowed to choose their own leaders. Indians means referring to the common citizen, right? So these two things you find out. First is called as a constituent assemblies formed to framing the Indian Constitution in the year of 26th January 1950. Second is called as a UAF was formed or adopted. Then the third one is called as a UAF, guaranteed equality before the law to all citizens, regardless to their caste or religion or affiliation, religious affiliation. This was the Constitution's second feature. The first feature is what? That called as a UAF. The second feature is called as a giving equality to all. Right. Third feature is what? Now that called as the Constitution that it is offered special privileges for the poorest and the most disadvantaged group of Indians. Right. Poorest and the most disadvantaged group of Indians. Then the fifth one is called as the practice of untouchability. Right. That the high community cannot touch to the low community or called as a higher caste, lower caste. So that thought, right, was still present, but untouchability thought was abolished or prohibited, right? So that is what means, eliminated. Now, next is called as, these are the things occurred, means after 26th of January 1950. So sixth is called as the temples which were once opened for only higher caste were now open to all, including untouchables of Harijans. Now everyone can go to the temple, right? Next, 7 is called as along with the former untouchables, right? The Adivasis or scheduled type ST, SC also granted reservation in seats. So reservation system also started, and jobs and seats are allotted on the basis of that jobs and seats, right? Then you would find out that um, the next one, the Constituent Assembly, right? So that spent many days in discussing the powers of the central government and of the state government. And it was decided that center's interest should be given the top priority. When center will be considered as the powerful, as they will be in position to think and plan for the well-being of the country as a whole. So that's why more power is alerted to the center. So state doesn't get that equal power like center. Then the 9H called as the Constitution wanted to strike a balance of power. So Constitution wanted what? Constitution sought to strike a balance of power between the center and the states by providing a couple of lists. Like, what are the list? The union list, the state list, and the concurrent list. Union list, central list, concurrent list. So why? Now, if you see that the union list has subjects like taxes, defense, foreign affairs, which are responsibility of the center because it is looking after the country. So that's why tax, defense, border matter, and foreign matters. So these are the things will be given to the union, right? State list has subjects like education, health, which would be taken care of principally by the state, because what happened inside the state, so one will be there to look after. Like, let's say that in a family, father does means outside activity where mother takes care of the family, right? Likewise, means center does the means overall thing, like what is happening in the country, right? And what are the important points like taxes, defense, and foreign matters. So state looking after nothing but education, health, right? So which are important matter for them. Then the concurrent list is what? Now comprises of forest, concurrent. What do you mean by that concurrent? Now where the center and state both have given their interest into it or responsibility. So the concurrent list comprises of forest, agriculture, in which the center and states would have given joint responsibility, right? So that's why you would find out the Constitution created a balance of power between the center and the states by providing 3 of the subjects, right? Now, who gave it? The Constitution, right? Then you find official language के हिसाब से माना भी गया, and English would be used in the courts, services, communication between one state and the other. So English
and the foreign matters.
Yeah, English was considered as the official matter, right? So court या तो services या तो communication में English को importance दिया गया. So then अगर आप 11th part में देखोगे, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, right? वो कौन है? Now he was the chairman, जो कि चेयरमैन है किसके? ना ड्राफ्टिंग कमेटी. ड्राफ्टिंग कमेटी का मतलब क्या होता है ना, जो
सर उनके वजह से सर अभी मतलब हमको कोई सीट्स वगैरह नहीं मिल रहे हैं सब गवर्नमेंट ऑफिस में.
आप लोगों को नहीं मिल रहा है?
नहीं सर. हम बच्चे हैं, 2 किलो के कच्चे हैं.
Yeah. So Dr. B.R. Ambedkar,
मतलब जो अदर कास्ट को मिल रहा है
रिजर्वेशन उनके वजह से जो रिजर्वेशन
हम लोग ट्रेन में सीट रिजर्व करते हैं, वैसे उन्होंने जॉब रिजर्व करके चला गया.
नहीं, एक बात बताइए आप एक बात बताइए अमित, अगर एक आदमी गरीब है, राइट, तो और एक आदमी अमीर है, तो आप क्या वो गरीब आदमी को चाहोगे नहीं कि वो सोसाइटी में जिए?
नहीं सर मैं वो नहीं बोला, मैं बोला तो तुम फ्री स्कूल करो लेकिन काबिलियत के अनुसार तो जॉब दो ना।
ना अभी
उसका
अभी
मतलब नहीं जो भी दे दोगे।
नहीं नहीं, अभी तो वही प्रॉब्लम है ना। द प्रॉब्लम इज व्हाट, कि पहले से जो रूल्स इंप्लीमेंट हुए हैं उसका फायदा कौन उठा रहा है? गलत, वो उसका फायदा गवर्नमेंट नहीं उठा रहा
जो
है।
लोग हाई पोस्ट में।
नहीं 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 नहीं, मैं बता रहा हूँ, जो लोग गवर्नमेंट में है वो नहीं उठा रहे हैं, हम अपने ही लोग उठा रहे हैं। मतलब इंडिया के ही आदमी, मतलब जो लोग SC ST में आते हैं लेकिन उनके पास पैसा है, अच्छा खासा लाइफस्टाइल है, फिर भी वो क्या कर रहे हैं ना, फायदा उठा रहे हैं। अगर वो खुद ही उससे मीन्स क्या हो जाए, मीन्स रिमूव हो जाए, तो उनके लिए ये अच्छा नहीं है क्या? सो वो, लेकिन वो क्या करते हैं,
हाँ
मीन्स ह्यूमंस डिजायर इज अनलिमिटेड। उनको पता है कि मेरे पास जितना है काफी है, फिर भी वो क्या करता है ना, गवर्नमेंट के जो प्रोविजन है उसको लूटने की कोशिश
यार
करता
जितने
है।
देने भी नहीं होता।
हाँ, so that is why it is wrong to blame others. It is something. Let's see that. अगर देखा जाए, आप सभी एक ही स्कूल में पढ़ते हो, राइट? लेकिन कोई बंदा है जो कि सबसे हाईएस्ट स्कोर रखता है। क्यों रखता है हाईएस्ट स्कोर? क्योंकि वो मीन्स सबके बारे में नहीं सोचता है, वो सोचता है कि मैं कितना काम कर सकता हूँ, राइट? अगर आप मीन्स उनसे अच्छा करना चाहो, देन आपको उनके बारे में नहीं सोचना चाहिए, आपको ये सोचना चाहिए कि मुझे मीन्स मैं किस हिसाब से सबसे अच्छा स्कोर करूं। तो रिजर्वेशन तो सबके लिए है, लेकिन आप अगर रिजर्वेशन में नहीं आते हो तो आप अपनी काबिलियत की वजह से ऊपर जाओ, राइट? सो मीन्स दैट्स वन ऑफ द थॉट। लेकिन क्योंकि जो भी रिजर्वेशन में
हाँ,
है, यस सर,
और इसीलिए मैंने एक मन कर लिया है एक मूवी से,
ओके,
कामयाब बनो।
सो सो हिंदी और इंग्लिश।
काबिल बनो, कामयाबी झक मार के आएगी।
हाँ, सो वो 3 इडियट का था। ओके,
फिर वही तो ना, मैंने अडॉप्ट किया है।
बाबा रणछोड़ दास से।
हाँ,
सो ठीक है, सो लेट्स गो टू द 11 नंबर। व्हाट इज दैट 11 नंबर? डॉक्टर BR अम्बेडकर, जो कि ड्राफ्टिंग कमेटी के हेड थे या तो चेयरमैन थे, सो जिनके सुपरविजन में, राइट, एक डॉक्यूमेंट, और वो डॉक्यूमेंट बनाया गया था, राइट, जो कि फाइनलाइज्ड हुआ था, एंड दैट प्लेड एन इम्पोर्टेंट रोल इन फ्रेमिंग द इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन। और वही डॉक्यूमेंट क्या हुआ, बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट रूल रेफर किया, एंड जिसकी वजह से डॉक्टर BR अम्बेडकर को हम क्या कह रहे हैं, फादर ऑफ इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, राइट? जिसकी वजह से हमें उन्हें मीन्स कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के पिता मानते हैं। सो am I clear so far?
यस सर,
Okay.
यस सर।
How were states to be formed? किस हिसाब से स्टेट्स बनाए गए? इंडिया में तो स्टेट्स थे, राइट, लेकिन इंडिपेंडेंस के बाद किस हिसाब से स्टेट्स फॉर्म किए गए, बनाए कैसे गए? सो अगर देखा जाए 1920 जब इंडियन नेशनल कांग्रेस amended its constitution and reorganized its regional branches on the basis of language, राइट? सो इंडियन नेशनल कांग्रेस, जो कि हमें पता है कि कांग्रेस पार्टी, राइट? सो INC ने क्या किया, राइट, उन्होंने मीन्स ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन तो बनाया, राइट, बन गया, राइट, एंड उसको रीऑर्गेनाइज करने के लिए, राइट, अपना जो ब्रांच, राइट, और रीजनल ब्रांचेस, उसको वो लैंग्वेज के हिसाब से कन्वर्ट किया, द बेसिस ऑफ लिंग्विस्टिक और लैंग्वेज ग्रुप्स, राइट? सो इन द ईयर ऑफ 1920, 1920 में ये हुआ। सेकंड, प्राइम मिनिस्टर नेहरू, जवाहरलाल नेहरू, एंड डेप्यूटी प्राइम मिनिस्टर वल्लभ भाई पटेल, राइट? सो वो दे वर अगेंस्ट द क्रिएशन ऑफ लिंग्विस्टिक स्टेट्स। उनके हिसाब से मीन्स ये गलत था, सो दे वर अगेंस्ट द क्रिएशन ऑफ लिंग्विस्टिक स्टेट्स। थर्ड, in October 1952. So ये कब हुआ? 1920 में ये थॉट आया कि लिंग्विस्टिक ग्रुप के हिसाब से स्टेट को बनाया जाए जहां पे आईएनसी अपना ब्रांचेस कर सके। सेकंड क्या हुआ ना, प्राइम मिनिस्टर नेहरू एंड वल्लभ भाई पटेल जो कि डेप्यूटी प्राइम मिनिस्टर हैं, उन्होंने इसको अपोज किया। थर्ड, इन अक्टूबर 1952 अ वेटरन गांधीयन नेम्ड, राइट, सो वेटरन का मतलब होता है जो कि एक्सपर्ट, राइट, मास्टर। सो गांधीयन नेम्ड, जिनका नाम था पोती श्री रामुलु, राइट, श्री रामुलु went on a hunger strike and demanding the formation of Andhra Pradesh to protect the interest of Telugu speaking people. Now you see that यहाँ पे means you have given an opportunity. That opportunity is called as a, आपने linguistic groups बनाने की कोशिश किया, आईएनसी ने कोशिश किया, जिसको नेहरू और means who वल्लभ भाई पटेल एक अपोज किए। लेकिन उसके बाद क्या हुआ 1952 में, मीन्स दैट्स कॉल्ड एज पोती श्री रामुलु, राइट, वो हंगर स्ट्राइक में आ गए एंड व्हाट ही डिड एक्चुअली, ही वांटेड टू फॉर्म अ तेलुगु स्पीकिंग स्टेट, राइट, सो आंध्र प्रदेश को। सो जो कि क्या हुआ, हवा देने लगा, एंड जिसके वजह से बाकी जो स्टेट्स थे वो भी कहेंगे कि हम भी ओडिया हैं, हमारा भी एक स्टेट होना चाहिए। सो और हम भी पंजाब हैं, हमारे भी एक स्टेट होना चाहिए, तो उस हिसाब से होने लगा। फोर्थ, ऑन 15th December 1952, सो अक्टूबर में ये हुआ एंड दिसंबर 15 में 1952, 58 days into his fast, सो करीबन 58 दिन, right, he went into his fast and finally died. His death led to violence all over the state and central government was forced to give in to the demand. So finally उसके डेथ के बाद मीन्स क्या हुआ ना, आंध्र प्रदेश को तमिल स्टेट के हिसाब से मीन्स डिक्लेयर किया गया, राइट। सो सिंपली बिकॉज ऑफ वन पर्सन डाइड ऑन,
मान्यता मिल गया।
हाँ। So on 1st of October 1953, the next point stated, on 1st of October 1953, the new state of Andhra Pradesh was created. After creation of Andhra Pradesh, you know that other linguistic communities also demanded, like मैंने आपको कहा था कि कोई केरलियन है तो वो डिमांड करेगा, कोई ओडिया है तो वो डिमांड करेगा,
एक बंदा मतलब जंप करेगा तो सब जंप करेगा।
हाँ सारे। So it's called as a kind of a, partiality, and they wanted to make it equal, right? So सारे के सारे states डिमांड करने लगे, जिसकी वजह से स्टेट रीऑर्गेनाइजेशन कमीशन भी बनने लगा। So what was made? Now state reorganization मतलब एक स्टेट को किस हिसाब से फिर से बनाया जाए, उसका एक कमीशन बनाया गया, और जिस कमीशन के हिसाब से क्या पॉइंट आउट किया गया ना, कुछ रिकमेंडेशन दिए गए, जैसे कि यू कैन से लार्ज हिंदी स्पीकिंग रीजन ऑफ नॉर्थ इंडिया वाज आल्सो टू बी ब्रोकन अप इनटू सेवरल स्टेट्स। सो बहुत बड़ा जो नॉर्थ साइड का इंडिया था, वो बहुत सारे लोग वहां के हिंदी बोलते थे, लेकिन वो पार्ट भी क्या हुआ, बहुत सारे स्टेट्स में डिवाइड हो गए। द बाइलिंगुअल स्टेट्स ऑफ बॉम्बे, सो बाइलिंगुअल का मतलब होता है दो लैंग्वेज, सो बॉम्बे में दो लैंग्वेज बोला जाता था, दैट वाज आल्सो डिवाइडेड इनटू सेपरेट स्टेट्स लाइक मराठी एंड गुजराती स्पीकर्स। कुछ लोग हैं जो कि मराठी बोलते थे, कुछ लोग जो गुजराती बोलते थे, सो दो हिस्सों में बढ़ गया। The state of Punjab was also divided into Punjab and Haryana, right? So you would find out that किस हिसाब से यहाँ पे division हुआ, right? So then you will find out planning, right? Planning for development. So if you see that there are three things you would find out. Among the major objectives of the new nation, lifting India and Indians out of poverty and building a modern technical and industrial base were very strong, right? अगर देखा जाए बहुत बड़े बड़े जो ऑब्जेक्टिव थे नए नेशन में, राइट, सो क्या करने के लिए, लिफ्टिंग इंडिया एंड इंडियंस आउट ऑफ पॉवर्टी, जो भारतीय हैं उनको गरीब से निकालना था एंड एक अच्छा खासा मॉडर्न टेक्निकल एंड इंडस्ट्रियल बेस बनाना था स्ट्रांगली, राइट। तो वो था प्लान, राइट। बहुत सारे ऑब्जेक्ट में से ये एक ऑब्जेक्ट था कि किस हिसाब से एक अच्छा खासा इंडस्ट्रियलाइज्ड कंट्री बनाया जाए, सो मॉडर्न एंड टेक्निकल मींस एंड इंडस्ट्रियल बेसिक हो, राइट। सो इंडियंस किस हिसाब से गरीब से निकल पाए। एंड सेकेंड थिंग इज कॉल्ड एज 1950 में द गवर्नमेंट सेट अप अ प्लानिंग कमीशन। सो एक प्लानिंग कमीशन भी गवर्नमेंट ने बनाया to help design and execute suitable policies for economic development. So अर्थनीति व्यवस्था को किस हिसाब से अच्छा किया जाए, तो उसके लिए गवर्नमेंट ने एक प्लानिंग कमीशन भी बनाया था 1950 में, राइट। इट वाज एग्रीड दैट इंडिया वुड फॉलो मिक्स्ड इकोनॉमी। यहाँ पे माना गया था कि मीन्स इंडिया मिक्स्ड इकोनॉमी को फॉलो करेगा, राइट, जिसमें बोथ पब्लिक एंड प्राइवेट सेक्टर वुड कोएग्जिस्ट, जिसमें गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर भी होंगे और प्राइवेट सेक्टर भी होंगे, राइट। सो दोनों एक साथ होंगे फॉर द इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट ऑफ द नेशन। Then the third one is called as in 1956. So 1950, then 1956. Second 5-year plan. So second 5-year plan जो 5 साल का जो प्लान होता है, that was formulated which focus, जो कि mainly किसको focus करता है, on the development of heavy industries. So heavy industries को follow करता है in India, such as steel, right, large dams, building of large dams, and ये जो sectors है वो directly states के अंडर में आते हैं, state के कंट्रोल में आते हैं, right. Then you would find out भिलाई स्टील प्लांट, एक छत्तीसगढ़ में भिलाई स्टील प्लांट ऑफ छत्तीसगढ़, जो कि that came to be seen as an important sign of development of modern India after independence. So भिलाई स्टील प्लांट ऑफ छत्तीसगढ़, जिसको कहा जाता है कि मीन्स डेवलपमेंट का एक साइन है मॉडर्न इंडिया का, राइट, जो कि इंडिपेंडेंस के बाद आया, राइट. So these are the couple of things that you find out. Then you find out the nation. Okay, the nation 60 years on, right? अगर देखा जाए, the nation 60 years on means, like if you talk about, it's all about not 60 even, more than 70 or 75, isn't it? So if you talk about 47 and today is 22, 23, isn't it? 23. So almost. Hello, are you all there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So how many years have been passed?
Yes, sir.
1947, 2007. It's called as the 60 years. 2007 to 2070. 70. 70, then 73, then 76, right? Somehow called as a 76 years on, right? India celebrated its existence as a free nation. So 76 years have been passed, right? Or it's going on, you can say. तो लेकिन जिस हिसाब से इंडिया फिर भी आज फ्री नेशन के हिसाब से कैलकुलेट किया जा रहा है, और यही जो 60-70 साल में जो इंडिया को बहुत सारे अचीवमेंट्स भी मिले हैं और बहुत सारे फेलियर्स भी मिले हैं, isn't it? So अगर आप सक्सेस के हिसाब से देखोगे, इंडिया वेर यूनाइटेड एंड डेमोक्रेटिक, पहला तो यूनाइटेड है, टुगेदरनेस है, डेमोक्रेटिक है, सो यूनिटी इन डाइवर्सिटी, सेकेंड, जिस और थर्ड इज कॉल्ड एज अ फ्री प्रेस एंड इंडिपेंडेंट जुडिशियरी. यहाँ पे मीन्स फ्री प्रेस है, मीडिया एंड जजमेंट, लॉ सिस्टम इज ऑल्सो कंसिडरिंग एज अ इंडिपेंडेंट, राइट. अगर यही 70 साल में 70 या तो 73 ईयर्स में अगर देखा जाए, इंडिया का फेलियर भी क्या है ना, यू कैन फाइंड आउट डिवीजन हुआ है, राइट, डीप डिवीजन कंटिन्यूज। सो किस हिसाब से मीन्स एक स्टेट दूसरे स्टेट से डिफर करता है बहुत सारी चीजों में, राइट। सो और अगर देखा जाए डिस्पाइट कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल गारंटीज, सो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का इतना सारा प्रोविजन है, फिर भी मीन्स जिसके ऊपर राइट जिसके ऊपर बहुत सारे यू कैन से दैट डिबेट भी होते हैं, राइट। सो क्योंकि सम पीपल एक्सेप्ट, सम पीपल डू नॉट एक्सेप्ट। Third is called as untouchability or Dalit face violence and discrimination. So constitution के हिसाब से equality होना चाहिए, फिर भी 73 years or 72 or 73 years pass, right? So 72 or 73 years passed, still you will find out there is a problem of untouchable beliefs or violence and discrimination occurs, means among the means higher between the higher caste and lower caste, and also Dalit people face a lot of problems. Now it also found out, agar dekha jaye, there are classes also between different religion groups in many states. Especially you would find out ke ye jo means Hindu, Muslims, or called as Christian, Sikh, Sai. So ये सारे जो different religious group है, right, एक ही country में और belong to the many states, right, तो जातिवाद के ऊपर भी बहुत सारे क्लासेस होते हैं और that's something called as a differentiation, variation आते हैं, और जिसके वजह से कंट्री में बहुत सारे दंगे भी होते हैं, right. So ये जो चीज है, that is also there. And the next one is called as the gulf between rich and poor has widened over these years, right. तो ये जो गरीबी, अमीरी एंड गरीब, ये जो थॉट प्रोसेस है, और इसी 70 साल में क्या हुआ ना, बहुत ही वाइडेंड होने लगा। मतलब रिच बिकम्स रिचर, राइट, एंड पुअर बिकम्स पुअरर, राइट। गरीबी और भी गरीब होते